This is Greg Michaelowski with the Forex Quick for the Euro versus US dollar, brought to you by FXDD. I'm going to start looking at by looking at the Euro versus US dollar in 5-minute chart. I'm also going to zoom out here. Things that I want to point out here is how symmetrical this day is. We started off very narrow here, moved to the upside, came back to the downside, almost equidistant from the center line here, which is our 100 and 200 bar moving average, which are just right on top of each other. So we have the move to the upside, move to the downside, and then we extend to the upside. First in the New York session, and then later we extend to the downside in the later in the morning in the New York session. And each of the times the market rejects the move to the upside and the move to the downside, and we head back toward where the market is most comfortable, and that's most comfortable right here in the middle, where the 100 and 200 bar moving average start to converge. The other thing of note here is that we still have this gap. This gap existed from Friday. Friday's high came in at 134.94. Market opened way up here off of the Greece debt situation, or the weekend news about Greece support for their debt situation. But since that time, really, during the early London session on Monday, the market has been down and then sideways here in between this very narrow range. We'll discount these extensions to the downside here for the time being, but really you can sit there and say 135.68 has been the floor for this currency pair, and you might be able to say, okay, 136.05 is the top side, and with the little extension to the upside, little extensions to the downside along the way. So obviously, from a trader's perspective, we have to either break to the upside by getting through this level, and then moving up toward the upside. On the downside, we're going to need to get through the 58 level, get through the 51 level, and then perhaps come on down, fill this gap down at 134.94. That would be the target level to the downside, and of course a lot of people are looking toward this 94 level as something that just has to be done. The gap has to be filled. However, a lot of times that often never happens, or it doesn't happen until maybe when you least expect it, when the market finally gets ahead of steam to the downside or the upside. So here we are moving up toward the midpoint of the range for the day of the where the 100 and 200 bar moving average are most happy, and that level currently comes in at the 135.86 level. If we move back above the 86 level, look for moves to the upside. But at first, look for sellers against this 86 level who may think that the downside is the way to go on our way to 134.94. So that's the Forex Quick for the Euro versus US dollar. This is Greg Michaelowski report from FXDD.